What's up, everybody? It's a beautiful day out here, August 15th. I'm out at Lake Cachillas in Snoqualmie Pass in Washington State. I wanted to start video blogging for a couple of reasons. Firstly, to kind of be able to share a lot of the places I'm going to with people who are interested. I've had a lot of people on Instagram say that they appreciate me taking pictures or videos when I'm out in nature because they might be stuck at work or it's bad weather where they're at, so they kind of appreciate a little bit of that coming in their lives, which I definitely support. The second reason is because my parents are always wondering where I'm at and what the heck I'm doing out here. So I figured I've got a lot of time to kill on most days, just kind of chilling out at campsites or when I'm hiking. So I figured I could record some videos, let people know where I'm at, what I'm doing, and kind of be able to follow me on my adventure back towards the East Coast this fall. Lord, I was born a rambling man, trying to make a living, just doing the best I can. When it's time to leave, and I hope you understand that I was born a rambling man. So for my first episode, I wanted to kind of do a little MTV Cribs type deal and show everyone my home that I've been living in for the last 2.5 months. It's my Subaru Forester. It's a 2005 Forester XS. I don't know what that means, but I love this car. We've probably just spent about 2 years together. I bought it about 2 years ago used. It's got 180,000 miles on it or something like that, but this thing will run forever as long as you take care of her. And I beat her up a bit, but I certainly try to give her some love where I'm able to. So starting off here in the driver's seat, this is where I spend most of my time for obvious reasons. If I'm not on the road, I'm usually just like chilling in a parking lot or at a campsite. It's pretty comfy just to sit here with the door open, or I'll, kick the feet up. I'm swagging out a bit. A couple things up here. These solar lanterns are awesome. They're like 20 bucks. I think my mom got me one year for Christmas. I got another one there that she got me on Groupon for like 15 bucks. I just throw them on the dashboard. They've got these little LED lights, this light indicator thing to show you how bright they are. I mean, it's the middle of the day right now, but anyways, these are awesome. Just leave them on my dashboard. They'll go for a few days without being recharged, and all they need to do is to recharge is just sit on the dashboard or in the sun or something like that, so that's pretty sweet. Next up, most importantly, if you're traveling around on public lands, you need all your passes. So I got the America the Beautiful. It's an $80 annual pass. It covers pretty much everything, everywhere that you can disperse camp for free. The National Forest, National Parks, Bureau of Land Management, Fish and Wildlife, Bureau of Reclamation. $80, you get access to these lands for a year. There's no better deal than that. I also got the Washington State Discover Pass. I technically still am a Washington resident as far as the state knows. These are $30 for the year, and they give you access to everything else that the America the Beautiful Pass wouldn't. State parks, state lands, areas where I'm at right now on Lake Cachillas, you need to display this Discover Pass. I've only been checked for passes and permits a few times in like the 10 years I live here, but as far as I'm concerned, it's to support public lands, it's to give the agencies that manage these lands the money they need to do their job, so I've got no problem shelling out $100 for an annual pass to be on all the land that I could access. It's a pretty good deal. Next up, this is just a fishing permit. Got it with my fishing permit. It tells me that I can be fishing places. I don't know. I just keep them all up on the dashboard so that no questions are asked. There's also another type of pass, the Northwest Forest Pass. It gives you access to the Forest Service lands in, I think it's Washington, Oregon, maybe Idaho. I'm not sure about that. I pretty much stick around Washington. Maybe sometimes I go to Oregon. That is like 35 or 40 bucks for the annual pass, and just as good as value as the America the Beautiful. I just happen to be visiting a lot of national parks and other BLM land. So I got the America the Beautiful pass just to cover everything. It kind of would be redundant to have a Forest Service pass as well. Couple other things I got up here. I've got a Goal Zero. I'm not sure how many watts this panel is. I guess it's a 7-watt panel. And it's got this cool battery pack on the back that will charge AA's or AAA's. So again, I just leave it on the dashboard. You can put rechargeable batteries in here if I need anything for my headlamp or any of my camping gear. These don't charge quickly, so I'll just throw some batteries in there. If I need them, I'll take them out, throw another set in. They recharge up pretty quick. And I've got this other cool solar panel that my brother Sean got me for Christmas. Kind of a similar deal. It's just a solar panel. This one's cool. It folds up and zips up into a nice little package. It's got kind of a rechargeable battery pack in there. You can see it's fully charged. We'll charge a cell phone a couple times. Might charge a headlamp once or twice. It's just easy electricity. You just leave it on the dashboard. If you're camped out, post it up for a spot. Sometimes I'll stick them in my back window if I'm driving around, and they just charge up. Keep me juiced on the road. This is my Stegosaurus. It kind of like wedges under there and holds that guy up a little bit. So I don't carry a full-size cooler or anything for food storage, but I do have this awesome bag that my buddy Ben got me for being in his wedding. It's got my initials on it, so there's no questions about that. It's just a nice little insulated bag. I can keep a couple sodas in there, usually my cheese, pepperoni, salami, stuff that needs to stay cold, but I don't need to deal with like ice and all this other, you know, melting ice and have this big cooler taking up space in my car, which is pretty sweet. Probably my favorite purchase I made in preparation for this journey is this Jackery, I think is the brand. Jackery. It's a 100-watt inverter slash battery type thing. So it's got 2 USB outputs on the front here. It plugs into my cigarette lighter, so when I'm driving it's charging up, and that can also be used as an inverter to run regular 110 volts, I don't know. But I can pretty much everything I need to charge I can do from this thing here, and then it's sweet because when I'm, you know, out camping or whatever, I can take it out of the car. This thing is very surprising. It was about $100. It's pretty small, as you can see. I mean, I got a big head, but it's still pretty small. This is awesome because it keeps my camera batteries charged. I can run my laptop off it for about 6 hours. When I was still in my apartment, I ran an Xbox and a TV off of it. I was playing Apex Legends on this for about 2 hours just to see what it could handle. It has a 100-watt maximum capacity, so you just can't exceed 100 watts or it turns itself off, but it's not even an issue for me. I'm usually charging my cell phones, headlamps, GoPro batteries, my camera, my laptop, so this does the trick. I've only run out of juice a couple times, and it was just because I was using it a lot and kind of not running my car to charge it. It will run off your battery if you're in accessory mode, which I learned the hard way because my battery went dead. So usually it's just when my car is running. When I'm driving somewhere, I'll plug it in and get a charge up. It's got this nice indicator on the front. You can see it's 28% full right now. I was playing lots of Roller Coaster Tycoon yesterday on my phone, running it off this. So this is probably the best investment I made as far as keeping my sanity on the road, just because it allows me to still have those creature comforts, which I enjoy. So also next to me in the driver's seat, I hang up my bamboo utensils here. This company To Go Ware is pretty sweet. They make bamboo fork, knife, chopstick, spoon sets. Maybe $15, $10 or something like that. They're reusable, very sustainable. I don't have to deal with plastics or anything like that. Just got some bungee cords up at the top here to kind of like rack my stuff on. I also got a little USB speaker here, which I also charge off that battery I just showed you. It's like a Bluetooth speaker, so I can hook my phone up to it if I'm watching movies or, you know, playing music at a campsite or whatever. Now stepping out, this is the new setup I just tried today. Got this tarp thing kind of flying out with my doors holding it open, just to try to get some shade. I'm kind of exposed here, not near the trees or anything like that, but I will show you the back. So in my back door here, I've just got some hiking shirts. I got my jacket. This is kind of just like a weird stuff space here. I've got this space between all my stuff back here. You know, I keep my puffy jacket here, my sandals, My seat is foot pushed pretty far back because I'm a tall guy, so there's not a terrible amount of room, but it does the trick. So also behind the back seat here, you know, I got my hiking boots, I got my shovel for digging cat holes if I need to use the restroom. This is just kind of like emergency backup stuff. My car ever breaks down and I just need to grab a bag to go. You know, I got water bottles, kind of some layers, a change of clothes, water for purification stuff, a lot of extra camping stuff in there. Kind of my bug out bag, if you will. And under here, this is something my dad made when he was a DJ to transport records around. It's kind of like my little cupboard right behind my driver's seat there. I got some books. I got Game of Thrones, Redwall, some mountaineering books. Got my art supplies in there. Just a whole bunch of kind of random stuff that I quickly need access to. Got my guitar here in the ground. So coming around back, this is where I spend most of my time. It's kind of my kitchen, my lounge. Can pop the back open here on the Subaru and I have access to kind of everything I need. So I'm usually just chilling out behind the car here, doing my thing. I've got these storage cubes. They were like some of the first furniture I ever bought in Seattle. I didn't really know what to do with them when I was leaving. So they actually fit perfectly. I think they're 12 by 12 or something. They kind of lock together, so I got some good bolts here to keep them together. They just got, you know, I've just got all my different stuff from the apartment in here. I got, what do I got? Got like a bunch of bird coasters, of course. Some exercise bands, a spare reusable shopping bag, playing cards, journals. Just a bunch of stuff that I didn't want to necessarily get rid of and thought I could find some use for out on the road. So we keep that there. Again, just another tote of random stuff. Some more books, maps, pipe cleaners. You can tell that I was frantically moving out of an apartment as I moved into this car. A lot of this could probably still go, but it's just so random. I can't find anywhere to like bring it, but I might use it. I got a tape measure, some pens. So I moved kind of right out of my apartment and into this car, so it was a little bit of just getting stuff out of the place and having it go somewhere. Another one of these totes here. Got my plants of the Pacific Northwest coast, of course. Some of my GoPro stuff. A tripod I should probably be using with this camera right now. So just a bunch of random stuff. Up top, keep my water filter, some more stuff I need to access quickly. I've got a microfiber towel if I ever decide to swim. I usually carry about 3 gallons of water with me. You can fill them up at Walmart or whatever. It's like 37 cents a gallon, 50 cents a gallon maybe at Fred Meyer's to fill up a gallon of water in those machines. I also have a 5-gallon kind of extra thing in one of my roof bubbles here. But I've only really needed that when I'm camping out in central Washington. It's super hot. If I find a spigot or something, I will fill up and have a lot of extra water when you need it. So I've got these cool peach crates. Again, like some of the first furniture I ever got in Seattle when I moved into Wallingford was these peach crates. They were outside of QFC and I walked up, they were just all stacked up out back. They were my bedside table when I was still sleeping on an air mattress. I used them at every apartment I was at, so I really wanted to keep these around. I don't know. They're these cool little things, and in this instance, it fits this kind of reusable grocery bag perfectly. And then in there, this is what I consider my pantry. Got the EL fudges. I just went to the grocery store today, so I'm loaded up for a few weeks. Got some chewy bars, ramen, instant potatoes, instant, you know, cheese and broccoli meals. Pretty much anything you can add just hot boiling water to is what I enjoy eating, because I'm usually just pulling over, you know, at a campsite, boiling up some water real quick on my stove, pouring in some instant potatoes and trying to eat something. I don't really like cooking because it's more of a cleanup, so if I'm posted up at a place for a few days, I might like actually cook some burritos or fry something up, but for the most part, I'm just boiling water, adding it to my food, and going from there so that I can eat and kind of spend more time doing other things. got like a spare backpack, my cookware. Here's another one of those peach crates here. And I've got these foam insulated coolers from my job at the hospital. These are what like heart valves and different like temperature controlled tissue used to come in. And we would just get them and take the valve out and throw them away. So they're pretty cool. They're just kind of like little cooler things. I've got my stove, propane, a couple dishes, a lot of different cookware and camping stuff for my apartment. You know, got a crazy knife, all kinds of stuff like that. So this is it looks like everything's just kind of sitting here, but I swear there's some order to it. I just cleaned my car out a couple weeks ago and found like one, you know, sunscreen after sunscreen after sunscreen and bug spray and more sunscreen, just all these things I had in random totes around the car. So it's nice to go through here every once in a while, consolidate everything, get it in the same spot. Yeah, so I guess I'll go inside and kind of show you how I sleep now. So the sleeping situation has been pretty good so far. I kind of messed around with kind of sleeping in the whole back of the car. So I've got the seats down flat, I've got memory foam and like camping mattresses and stuff, which is pretty comfortable. But I had to take all this stuff out of the back and put it in the front so that there was enough room for me in the back. So what I've been doing as of late, which has been really nice, is I kind of sleep with kind of like my body up here and then my feet in the front seat, if that makes sense. And I guess I'll demonstrate. But it's just a lot easier for me because if I sleep at a trailhead or if I'm just at a truck stop or a parking lot or in like the streets of Seattle or whatever, I want to be able to, from my driver's seat, just kind of like squirm right into the back, go to sleep, get it done with, and then if someone rolls up on me or if I need to get out of somewhere quickly, I can just like scoot right back into the driver's seat, take down my shades in the front and drive away, which has been pretty nice. So let's see, I guess I will attempt, I usually do this from the driver's seat, so I'm gonna go back in the car and do it that way. So from the driver's seat here, you can kind of see I've got this Rubbermaid tub under there right now, which honestly needs to go, and then the one on my roof needs to come back in here, but this is just kind of extra right now. It's got some extra stuff I gotta donate or figure out what to do with. But I just put a pillow on top of it and I pull the blanket up in front, and then you can see towards the back, it's kind of, my seats are flat down there. I've got the memory foam under there and another foam mattress. I've also got a wooden coffee table, like just the table part underneath to kind of make it more firm because there's a difference in the seat here. So usually I pull into a spot, grab this thing here, and then super cozy. I've slept better in here than on my like queen size bed in a real apartment. So just kind of like lay back in here, got my feet up there in the front like that. It ends up working pretty well, and crack the window. Got that solar light right here. Also got this shower curtain bar thing that I put up kind of between my two handhold things, whatever these are called. Kind of goes across the car, so it's holding my shirts on the other side. Over here, I've got a bag from Mike Ronan's wedding. This is kind of my personal care items. Mostly my socks and underwear. That's what I change the most of. I've got more clean clothes on the roof, but that's kind of the stuff I need to get into the most. My soap, my shampoo, dry shampoo, socks, underwear, things to keep me fresh on the road. And then over here, kind of just got some more of those totes. I got my slippers, kind of some more personal care stuff up in this thing here, some headphones. This is where I sleep, so this is kind of stuff I need to access, like while I'm sleeping or whatever, mostly just like headphones, electronic stuff. I got some first aid stuff in here. This is kind of like my medicine cabinet. I've got like my allergy medicine, toothbrush, toothpaste, more wet wipes. I don't go into it terribly often, so I'm not entirely sure. Pretty much everything I use the most of is up near like the driver's seat, so I can just get to it on the day-to-day basis. Then lastly, I got this bungee net that I had when I had my motorcycle. I would use it to like attach things to my motorcycle, so I attached it throughout the car, and it just is able to hold some more things up there. I've got my pajama pants and a sweatshirt. You know, usually if I'm going to bed, I kind of like crawl back in here. If I'm cold, I can throw on some pants real quick or whatever. And that is it for the most part on the inside of the car. I guess I'll just give you one more shot of the outside, show you my roof bubbles. I'm not going to open them up because I rarely do. They're usually things that I don't need very often, like my camping stuff. I've got 2 suitcases with like clean clothes, but I usually just wash a couple pairs of clothes in rivers or whatever as I'm able to. I'll like wring stuff out. It stays fresh for the most part, so I haven't been going up in there unless I'm like out actually camping or backpacking. I'll go in there to get my tent or my sleeping bag or other things I'll need for kind of being in the backcountry a bit more. Just a final look at the outside of the car. This is my newest addition, this like tarp setup I got here. It's just a telescoping, like a broom handle that I got for like $5 or $6 at a hardware store. It's like a metal broom handle. You twist it, it extends out, so I can use it to mount a tarp onto. I just use these heavy duty clips here to hold the tarp to the broom handle, and then I mount the broom handle to the roof rack with some bungee cords, fly it down to the ground with some bungee cords and some camping stakes, and that ends up working pretty well. I've got this roof box here that I got from Target for like $15, just a home storage utility box. It's got the headrest to my car in it, like an old pair of rain boots, just like things that I didn't want in the car. I don't care that they're up here. It stays dry in there. It's just somewhere to keep stuff. Got this chair from IKEA. I think I had a whole set of them, but I just kept one. Just a folding chair that I can pop out, and you know, when I'm hanging out at camp, get somewhere to sit. When I'm cooking, I got something to sit on. And then this roof box from Jegs was really good deal. It was like $180, which is so much cheaper than the Yakima or the Thule boxes, like those sport boxes they have, are like $400 or $500. This is less than $200 for sure. Super quick to mount to the car. It's universal, so it mounts to any roof rack. I've got like just random stuff in there. Mostly, I've got 2 suitcases in there, so it shows you how big it is. Just like my spare clothes, like nice clothes in case I stumble into a job interview at some point in the next few months. Like my camping stuff that I don't ever really get into. I'm usually just sleeping in the car, camping right next to the car. So this is kind of more, you know, I don't access it terribly often, but it's got some extra stuff. So the space is good to have. And my anti-theft device. I've got this solar shade thing that my Aunt Ann got me. It's got the whole crew. It's pretty much the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. So I keep this up here because if anyone comes around and they see Chewbacca, they're gonna know that, you know, this car isn't to be messed with. So that's it. That's my Subaru Forester. Taking name suggestions for it. It's been my home for the last 2 months. It's gonna be my home for the next few months until I end up in Boston. It's pretty comfortable to live in. Wish it was like 3 inches bigger because I'm pretty tall and my feet just kind of barely fit in there when I'm laying down, but it's been working out so well. So that's been my first episode, I guess, and I've been happy to kind of show y'all what I'm up to. Hopefully I'll be keeping in touch along my adventures, and stay tuned for more, I suppose. Peace.